Right then, it's the moment you've been waiting for. It's time for... Play the sting, please. They're not ready for it. Unbelievable.
Cardi B's Biscuit Breakdown.
It is indeed Cardi B's Biscuit Breakdown. Dave is here. Dave, you have an absurd shirt.
I know.
And it is related
Everybody
to the
loves
biscuits.
this shirt.
Well, I'm going to, if you're listening on Talk Radio, I'm going to tweet a picture of Dave and his shirt. It's got cars on it, which look kind of like Cuban cars, and it's blue and Hawaiian.
I got it in Miami.
In Miami? Oh,
Yeah.
Very good. Yes, very good. So what have you've got?
Well, I've matched the shirt with today's biscuits, which have come in a metal tin.
A metal tin which says Surf's Up, and it's a blue one.
It looks like a well-known camper van made by a well-known car company.
Excellent. And what's inside is the question.
It's got shortbread biscuits.
Ooh, marvellous.
Okay.
Excellent. I will definitely take some shortbread, please, as we discuss the many issues of the day. Thank you very much. Where do you get the tin? That's really good.
Oh, I happened to wander into Home Bargains.
Right, excellent, very good.
They've got lots of stuff like this. So,
wonderful, excellent. Well, thank you very much for bringing that in. Really appreciate that.
So they're the biscuits.
You have further snack-related news.
Oh, yes.
In that Twiglets fans are fuming over a disgusting new recipe that doesn't taste the same. What about the disgusting old recipe for Twiglets?
That's a bit rude.
They're horrible. I'm sorry.
I love Twiglets.
They're ghastly.
But I can't stand Marmite, which is a bit weird.
That's a bit weird.
Yeah, so... but anyway, back in May, the people who make Twiglets decided it would be a good idea to change the recipe to make it more healthy.
Oh, dear. It's not going to end well.
It's not gone down well, to be entirely honest. One disappointed Twiglet
eater
turned around and said, "Attention all Twiglet lovers, the new recipe recognised by the green tub are disgusting. Sawdust is the word I would use."
I mean, I thought old Twiglets tasted sort of sawdust and Marmite together. I've probably had about 7 Twiglets in my entire life, and they're all horrible.
Oh, I quite like them. They're a bit Moorish.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm more a pretzel kind of guy myself. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm tucking into this delicious
I have no
delicious shortbread. Thank you. Yes, very very much appreciated. I do. I mean, we're going to do the cat of the week in a minute, and we actually have an entry for Christmas cat of the week, which we're not going to do today. We're going to do it. I'm not.
You've told me about this via WhatsApp.
Yes, I forgot.
I don't know anymore.
Well, I thought I'd mention it to the viewers and listeners as well. Okay. Yes, of course. It's not all about you, Dave. Oh. Much as you may think it is. No. So we've had an entry, and it's someone it's a cat wearing a sort of Christmas costume, which I'm going to reveal on the 17th because I'm not presenting on the 24th. I'll be in Northern Ireland then for Christmas. But are you working on the 17th?
I never know when I'm working. I seem to be here all the time.
You're here all the time. You live under the desk.
Oh, yeah, can you pass on a message for me?
Yes.
When you go out to home,
yes,
you say belated happy birthday to Ken, your dad. And can you also let them know when you're replacing the carpet?
Replacing the carpet? Oh, because of the pen.
No, not here, at your mum and dad's house.
Why am I replacing the carpet?
Because apparently you ruined the carpet when you were writing your book.
Forgot about that. Yes, did my mother tell you that at my book launch?
Yes.
Ooh, that's well dodge. That's well done. I'm not happy about that. Yes, well, I didn't ruin it. Well, anyway, it's a long story.
Let's not do that today.
Let's not do that today. Let's talk about the world's oldest living tortoise, the world's oldest living land animal at 190.
Spoiled it now. Yes, 190 years old. Jonathan the tortoise.
Jonathan the tortoise, my goodness.
I know nothing about tortoises.
Well, we know they're quite slow.
Well, yes, but apparently when the guy who owns this tortoise calls it comes to him like a dog.
I mean, presumably not as quickly as
the world's slowest dog.
The world's slowest dog, my goodness.
Yes, apparently he lives on St Helena Island. And
that's where Napoleon died. He was exiled to St Helena.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, he's 190 years old.
Maybe he remembers Napoleon. No, that wouldn't work. That wouldn't
190 years old this year. They think he might be older, but they don't know for sure.
Since records began, he's the oldest living land animal.
So
well, that's lovely. Well, congratulations to Jonathan the tortoise. And actually, we have some news here in the UK ourselves. We're indeed hoping to speak to the owner, possibly next week, of another old animal.
Yes, the world's oldest cat.
Here in the UK,
26.
That's impressive.
It's very cool.
So tell us about the world's oldest cat.
Well, the world's oldest cat is called Flossie, and it's thought to have been born on December the 29th, 1995, and Yeah, apparently born up in Merseyside, but then Cats Protection got hold of Flossie
Great charity.
because he's obviously been left out, and now apparently he lives down in the southeast in Orpington.
And he's as old as Jack Grealish.
Yes, in fact, he lives with Vicky, who's 27, so almost the same age as the cat.
Almost the same age. Well, hopefully we'll be speaking to Vicky next week. We're going to see producer Gabriella is hopefully helping us with that, but he lives in South East London.
Yeah.
I mean, if he lives in South East London, maybe we could have him in the studio.
Well,
maybe he doesn't travel. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, but he's blind and he's bit deaf as well.
Oh, well, I mean, he seems, from what I can read about this cat, he's been about Flossie. He's been leading a wonderful life and being looked after marvellously, and they can lead a long and wonderful life, which is fantastic.
I think you've got a picture.
Oh, we do have a picture.
No, you have.
Oh, I have a picture here. We don't have it on the screen. I'm going to have to hold it. I haven't
been that.
For goodness sake, Dave, what have you been up to today? Well, I'll hold that up. That is a beautiful, beautiful cat, looking pretty old there. But no, we have it.
Since 4 a.m. Come on.
Oh yeah. It's all about you. I've been here since 4 a.m. No, Dave, you do a wonderful job. And actually, another job you do is administering to the behemoth that is Cat of the Week, because it is indeed time for Cat of the Week.
It's Cardi B's Cat of the Week.
So who's the Cat of the Week this week?
This week, the Cat of the Week is Daisy.
Daisy.
Who was nominated by cat dad Brian Betts. Daisy, as you can see on screen, would like to be considered for Cat of the Week. I'm not quite sure how Brian knows this. Daisy is 10 years old and was abandoned.
Oh, dear.
But Daisy found her new dad, Brian, in the pub, and apparently went home with Brian from the pub and has never left.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, I mean, Daisy is a worthy winner of Cat of the Week. Dave, thank you. Stay where you are, because we're going to talk to someone else who has found a cat and indeed has given it a better life, and that's Tom Much, who is has hired a furry recruit to help him deliver the news from Ukraine. Tom is a journalist based in Ukraine, and I believe we can talk to him now. Tom, are you there?
I am here. How are you guys doing?
I'm very well. Tell us about this cat that you found.
So, you want to tilt the camera down a little bit? So here is the new recruit to the team right here. We found him in a trench that the Russians have been inhabiting for about 6 months on the border of the Mykolaiv and Kherson regions. Now, as you know, the Ukrainian army recently retook the Kherson region, and we were there basically just reporting on what had happened. And we went with a group of Ukrainian army soldiers to this trench, and this cat just kind of jumps out at us, and, we cuddle him, and we, are picking him up, playing with him, and we take him to the car, and we're like, all right, probably time to say goodbye. Open the car door, and he just jumps inside, and he's very clear that he's not leaving the car. He is definitely coming home with us.
My
and
goodness.
so
he adopted you, essentially.
He has sort of barged his way into a new home, but I have to say he's very welcome here. He's extremely well behaved. He's as soon as he heard he was going to be on TV, he'd just been licking himself constantly clean. So he's a little bit vain.
He knows his public. And Tom, the big question, I suppose, well, a couple of big questions. One, have you got a name for him yet?
No, we actually don't, and this is the thing. We probably think he's about maybe 1.5, 2 years old, but we haven't thought of a name for him yet. So if you have any ideas, or your viewers or listeners have any ideas, we'd be very, very keen to see.
Excellent. Well, listen, we'll make sure to pass it on. Dave, what do you think the name of this beautiful cat should be?
Oh, you've put me on the spot, haven't you?
Dave would be a good name.
Dave, yes.
Dave, call it Dave.
Let's call the cat Dave.
Tom, are you by any chance from New Zealand?
I am from New Zealand, yes.
Right, I was just guessing that. What's going to happen? Presumably, at some stage, you will go back to New Zealand. What is going to happen to your beautiful furry friend?
Well, I'm afraid I'm going back to New Zealand for Christmas, but he'll be staying with a friend here, and that'll be coming back in January to Ukraine for at least the next year, and I expect he will make his home, my home, his home.
Wonderful. Well, listen, you're a great man, and I'm sure the conditions are very difficult there in terms of what you're dealing with. What have you been reporting on, and who are you reporting for?
So at the moment, I'm actually writing a big piece for the New Zealand Herald, the biggest paper back in New Zealand, about what's been going on in southern Ukraine with especially the electricity blackouts and the new Russian strikes in the areas and everything like that. So it's a lot of quite difficult stuff, but it's good to be able to use this little guy to bring a bit of light and good humour to the reporting on what can otherwise be a pretty difficult situation.
Well, he's clearly brightening up your day.
He's licking my hand.
He's licking your hand. My goodness, he's clearly a big fan of yours, Tom. That is wonderful. Well, thank you so much for all your help, and I wish you all the very, very best in Ukraine. I hope
Not a problem.
Hope it goes really well. Stay safe, and hope you got a good name for the cat as well, because that is a beautiful, beautiful cat there. My goodness, that's Tom Much, who is a journalist in Ukraine who has found a new furry companion. That's lovely, Dave, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, it's really
nice.
nice.
You could have done with Jack the cat here this morning, really, couldn't you?
Well, it's
I'm not sure whether the cat should actually lick ink off your hands.
No, I don't want Jack anywhere near the ink, actually. But thank you to May, who has said my favourite part of Peter's show on Talk TV is Cat of the Week. The intro always wakes up my 3 as the cat squeals. John says enjoying the show as usual. One texter not happy at all. Hey Cardwell, why are you promoting Hancock? He's disgusting. Responsible for many deaths because of his decisions. I think a lot of people feel that. I suppose what we were talking about specifically was what he was up to in the jungle. Thank you so much as well to Jane, who says, hey Peter, great show today as always. That's great. And another one coming up, because Trisha Goddard has got her show. It's going to be from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. She is on the line now. Trisha, you're very welcome to the show. What's coming up in your show? How are you doing?
Good, I'm doing really well. Well, we're looking at how energy price rises have affected leisure centres, because it used to cost, for instance, £100,000 to heat a swimming pool for a year. It's now gone up to £300,000. So it's going to affect people's health in not being able to stay fit, etc. We're going to have a look at rural news, because, as you know, I like to spread it around the country, and also the ultra-low emission zone as well.
That's got quite a debate going on our show, Trisha, so I'm sure lots of people will be in touch about that one as well. Hope your show goes really, really well. Thank you. That's Trisha Goddard, who's on between 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock. Dave is still with me. Twiglet the cat. Says
yes.
Says
Twiglet
Bill.
the cat.
Twiglet the cat would be lovely. And
not the right colour for a twiglet.
Not really, no. And one tweeter has said, I love Tom Much for taking this beautiful ginger cat and why not call the cat Trench? Which is an interesting one, because it was found in a trench. That's not a bad name.
Not a bad idea. You could call it Bagpuss. Because Bagpuss was supposed to be a ginger cat. But when the cloth turned up at the studio, it was pink.
Oh, really?
So that's why he ended up being pink and white.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. Useless information.
Did not know that. Not useless at all. Very, very interesting. Thank you to Tech Up Dave, a.k.a. Dave Rhodes, who has been the visual producer today.